All right, let's write the equation of this ration. So just like before, I am going to just start listing everything out. Horizontal asymptote is at 0, so I got the horizontal asymptote, and that's going to be at y equals 0. So again, what information does that tell me? It tells me degree of denominator must be greater than degree of numerator. That's the only way I can get a horizontal asymptote equal to 0. That's the end behavior. So, okay, now I'm going to start listing my zeros. I got a -1 here. So zeros and their multiplicity. So I'll put a nice little table here to keep myself organized. So I got -1. Now I get a -1. I see it's going right through. So I'm going to say it's multiplicity 1. Then I have another 0 here at 1. And again, when I focus in on this, it looks like it's going right through. So it's also going to be 1. And I do not see any more zeros. Great. So now I'm going to go for the vertical asymptotes. Fantastic. And what do I have here? Well, let's see. I got, looks like -2 for glass zero at x equals -2. And then I look on either side of the graph to see what kind of shape. And I see them, I got a curve here, and then diagonal, I see, and the other part of the curve, but diagonally. So, and then don't be fooled because, oh, wait a minute, isn't this going down on the other side? No, I need to look at the part of the graph that's closest to this. So I can't, I know this seems that it's going down, they're both going down, but that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at near this line, what's happening. So near this line, I'm going closer. Near this line, I'm going opposite direction. So I'm going opposite, opposite. So at x equals 2, it's of this type, 1 over x. So I'm not looking all the way across. I'm looking at the part of the graph that's closest to this vertical asymptote and see how it behaves. Then I got another one. Looks like that. Okay, so if that is -2, that is -1. What is this? So 0. Okay, that's -1. So it looks like it's so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So it looks like 0.5. So if x equals -1/2, I am getting, I guess, so now what am I doing? So here's my vertical asymptote, and then I look at the graph near this one and near the other side. Again, I'm getting the opposite. So again, this is of the type 1 over x. And then there's another one. So one more vertical asymptote at 3. So I'm going to go, okay, x equals 3. And again, now what's happening on either side? When I look at this, again, here is the graph closer, and then on the other side, here's the graph closer. So again, I can tell that it's of this type, 1 over x. So it looks like the degree of the denominator is going to be 3, degree of the numerator is going to be 2. So I've satisfied this statement, degree of denominator is greater than degree of the numerator. So now I'm going to just put all this that I have so far together. So what is this function that I have so far? Well, it's going to be a, this unknown. Then I got x minus, and then x minus again. And the denominator is going to consist of 3 things. X minus, x minus, x minus. And now I'm putting in my values. The zeros are -1, 1, -2, -0.5, and 3. And I'm going to clean this up right now. This one's a little bigger, so I got x plus 1, x minus 1, so x plus 2, x plus 1/2, and x minus 3. That's what I have so far. Great. So now again, I have another point at 0, it's 1. So I got an output of 1 when I enter zeros for these things. So I enter 0 here, what do I have? I got 1, enter 0, -1, enter 0, 2, enter 0, half, enter 0, -3. So 2½ is 1. Negative divided by negative is positive. So when I look at this, what I have is 1 equals a times 1/3, multiply both sides by 3. And of course, that will give me the value of a, and the value of a turns out to be 3. And that's it. I found my value. I'm ready to write out my equation. So that comes to 3, x plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 2, x plus 1/2, and then x minus 3. So this is pretty amazing that you can, just by finding this few pieces of information, you can actually write down the entire equation.